Swift Flight 210 traveling to Edmonton this morning. We're going to start pre-boarding here in just a few minutes.
Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. I've been in the
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to Edmonton, Alberta, when it's a whopping -10 right now. And look at all the snow that's around us. Now in Victoria, it's obviously a lot warmer than it is here. Here it's -10. Victoria, when I left this morning, it was about +5. So big difference in temperature. In saying that, today's video is going to be a little bit of a quick one because, first of all, tournament's in 2 days, and I want to get this video up before. This video is going to be the Devin Lara prediction for the upcoming matchups at East versus West this Saturday. Kind of excited because there's going to be some very interesting matchups. And in saying that, I'm here filming the intro because when I first got here off the plane, I started doing a lot of filming and then realized that my mic setup wasn't working, and I was having a lot of mic issues, so I'm kind of stuck doing it now. And saying that, enjoy the video. You guys know the drill. Grab a coffee, sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and let's go. Alright, so East versus West is happening in literally about 24 hours from now in Istanbul, Turkey, and there are many matches. So in this video, you guys are going to find out my predictions on the upcoming matches. I do apologize for this video coming out a little bit later. I do have a tournament in 24 hours from now, so I did want to get this one out a little bit earlier. However, we are running late on it. So without further ado, let's get going with the video. But first, start off with a cold one. So what I will do is I will give the predictions for the earlier matches, and then I will get a little bit more into depth for the final matches. So to start it off, let's start with Paulin versus Irakli Gamtinadze. Hopefully I said that correctly. My prediction for this one is I honestly think that Irakli will win this, and this is because he did lose to Prunik about 4 years ago, and I can only imagine how much of a drive he wants to, how much he wants to win currently, and I know he's been training very, very hard. He's a very, very strong dude. Also, you got to think that his speed and his power is something that I don't believe that Paul has, and you can kind of find in the most recent video, not the most recent video, but you can find in one of the videos where he kind of went up against Devin Lara, and I know Devin isn't the most. I know Devin isn't the most perfect opponent for Paul, but at the same time, I do think that Irakli wins this, I would say pretty convincingly. After that, we have Wagner Bortalado versus, I'm going to say this name probably wrong again, Georgi Zuranov. They're doing left hand. I'm not too familiar with Zuranov. However, I do know he's Brazilian, and I know this is going to sound funny, but there's just something in the water down in Brazil. So I really do think that Georgie gets this one done, even though Wagner is an absolute monster. So now we get on to the bigger matches. We have MAXX versus Sandris Setis. The thing is Matt is a 6'5", 245-pound dude. And then you have Sandris Setis, who's a 6'4", 255-pound monster as well. The thing is usually MAXX wins with top roll, with a low hand top roll, and obviously require a lot of power. However, I do think that Sandris' cup and his speed will take over Matt. Sandris doesn't have the experience Matt MAXX does in arm wrestling, but has several European championships, and he's coming off some big wins. So I really do think that Sandris will come out with a win against Matt MAXX. Then we move on to Jerry Cataract versus Hermes Gasparini. This is such an interesting matchup because you have a guy like Jerry Cataract who benches 315 pounds for 30 reps and is an absolute monster when it comes to pressing in the sport of arm wrestling. And Jerry's just an absolute killer. And then you look at someone like Hermes, who's coming off some monster wins. Hermes beat MAXX, Kurdecha, Gennady, Bortello. And the thing with Hermes is he's came so far in the sport, and I honestly believe he is so close to the pinnacle next to Levon. I think he's just under Levon. And I think if there was one person who could challenge Levon currently, and I don't think it's Dave Chafe, I really do think it's Hermes Gasparini. So I gotta go with Hermes on this one. I think he gets it done pretty convincingly. I think once Jerry gets into the press, Hermes will have a little bit of trouble just from an endurance standpoint, because we all know that Jerry, once he gets into the press, he can literally sit there for a long time. But I think once Hermes gets a couple pins on him, I think it's game over. Then we have John Brzink versus Oleg Petrenko versus Oleg Potrenko. I get this one wrong as well. I do think so. The thing is everyone knows John Brzink is the absolute GOAT of arm wrestling. Not even a dispute. And the thing with John is he's always had a strong hand. He's always been very smart. His IQ is through the roof. But I do think that Oleg has a little bit too much power. And I really do think that right off the go, Oleg and Brzink are going to go immediately to the strap. And with Oleg's power, I think he's just going to run through Brzink. I believe once he gets to the strap, it's game over. Then we have the second to last match here, and that's going to be Gasparini versus Dave Chafe. At first, when I saw Dave Chafe in his most recent matches, I had him an underdog, especially when he's up against Kurdecha. And then when I watched him roll right over him like it was absolutely nothing, yeah, that was something. And Chafe's been on an absolute tear. However, I do think that there is something in the water with Italy. However, I don't think that Dave Chafe gets the job done this time. I think that the top roll of Hermes is just a little bit too strong. The only thing that kind of scares me is if Hermes ends up challenging Cataract before Dave Chafe, and I believe that's exactly what's going to happen. So maybe from an endurance standpoint, that's not the smartest idea. But Hermes is very, very confident in getting the job done twice on the same night, and that's two big tasks ahead. However, in saying that, I do think that Hermes gets it done against Dave. I'm not sure how many matches, but I do think it'll be a 4 or 5 win match series for Hermes. And then to get to the event that you probably are most excited about, at least I would think, would be Lara versus Prunik. Now the thing with this is most people probably have Devin winning. Not just from a popularity standpoint, but Devin is, arguably, has a very good case to arguably be one of the best in the world currently. And that's just statistics. That's facts. In saying that, I do think that after the Levon matchup, and by the way, I did predict that Devin was going to lose that. And I was right, and I got a lot of hate on that until the match actually happened. But in saying that, I do think that Prunik has way too much power, especially on the inside. And I do think that once Prunik gets his cup, it's going to happen fast. He's going to cup, he's going to go inside, and it's going to be game over. And I think Devin's going to try to go into an inside hook, and it'll be too much. It's sad to say because I'm a Canadian. Devin's Canadian. At one point was a world champion in both arms. Absolute legend in the sport, but I don't think he wins this one. So, that's kind of my predictions. And that's so that's my predictions. And saying that, about 24 hours now, I have my match. In 24 hours from now, I have my tournament. It's going to be happening at the West Edmonton Mall. When this video comes out, about 12 hours after, I'm going to weigh in. So I'll be able to weigh in the night before the match actually. I'll be able to weigh in before the tournament actually. I'll be able to weigh in a day before the tournament actually happens, which will be kind of nice because I'll actually be able to carb up and eat a bunch of food leading up to the tournament. And in saying that, and for anyone who's going to be seeing this video, if you are in the Edmonton area, there will be, the signings already happened tonight. I guess there's no signings tonight. All right, well, that's out of the video. Alright, and that's going to be my predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the button.
Please like the button.
Please like the button.
Smash the subscribe.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this again. Take number 2. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, if you guys have made it this far to the video, please consider liking it. Subscribe if you haven't as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one, which will be the tournament. Peace.
Now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple double, told him check the stats, yeah I got